All right, another travel vlog. So I know these vlogs usually start off with me talking forever at the beginning. So I told myself on this one, I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to try to keep this to like a minute or two. But today, before I even tell you where I am, I'm going to tell you where I was supposed to be. I was supposed to be back in Dubuque, Iowa at the Iowa Greyhound Park Q Casino today for the Brantley Gilbert concert that was scheduled, and they booked it after all this coronavirus stuff started. This concert was only announced I don't know, a couple of months ago. I had a pit ticket and had flights to Chicago O'Hare. I was going to drive again like I did in the previous vlog. And 2 weeks ago, the concert was canceled because the city of Dubuque passed a mandatory mask ordinance. And the casino didn't actually put this out, but I can put two and two together. They were like, how are we going to make 7,000 rowdy rednecks at a Brantley Gilbert concert wear a mask? So I sure wasn't going to wear one. So that was that. I decided not to go back to Dubuque today. I could have just kept my flights and went back and gone to the dog races, but I don't want to wear a mask, you know? I don't. So I changed my flights. I got a refund for the pit ticket to the concert, which was on the expensive side. So all in all, it cost me maybe like an extra 30 or 40 bucks to be where I am now, all said and done, which is not that big a deal. I'm going on 2 minutes here. I'm going to try to wrap this up, but I'm in Norfolk, Virginia. This is the only part of Virginia that I have never been to before, so just filling in some gaps with this trip. I've never been to the Hampton Roads area, which is what this whole metropolis is known as. The airport was bigger than I expected. It's a fairly decent-sized airport for not being a major city. And just very uneventful flights. I flew Southwest from Manchester MHT to Norfolk ORF with a connection in Baltimore BWI. And that was that. I'm here. I just got in a rental car. I rented through Dollar today because I got a 30% off coupon in my email from them a few days ago. Just good timing. Rental car prices are still high. Flight prices are still all-time lows, so it just varies. Paused for a second there because somebody was just walking by in front of the car, giving me a weird look when he saw me vlogging. But anyway, so the car was 60 bucks for a 24-hour rental, which when times were normal, that'd be really expensive, and I wouldn't pay that. I'd shop around. But right now, with rental car prices being as crazy as they are, which is another story as to why, that's not a bad deal. Flights were cheap, though. They didn't have any pickup trucks available, and it would have been 30 bucks extra for an SUV, that's an expensive upgrade, which I would have gladly paid if they had a truck, but otherwise I'm like, just give me whatever. So I'm in a Toyota something or other. I don't even know what this is. Look at my receipt here. 2020 Toyota Corolla. It's got Florida license plates. So yeah, not used to this. I like big vehicles, but that's okay. I'm not complaining. I'm traveling. It's all good. So I'm going to go off and explore Norfolk. Going to explore this whole Hampton Roads area, which is pretty vast, so it's going to take a while. Feel like pizza for lunch. I had a craving for pizza all day yesterday, so I'll probably do that. And then I have an event to go to tonight, which I'll tell you about later. So let's roll. I'll just give you a quick look here. I'm on the way downtown Norfolk. Decided to do that first. It's 7 miles from the airport by roads, but the whole thing is about 30 miles an hour speed limit so far, so it feels like it's taken forever. Not that I mind. I'm exploring and seeing the area, but this is a long, slow 7 miles so far. There we go. Coming into downtown. Still getting used to this tiny car. All right, back in the car. I just walked around Town Point Park, downtown Norfolk, Virginia, because no visit to a city is complete if you just drive through and don't ever get out of the car. So I do like to, put my feet on the ground and at least explore a little bit. And that's what I did. I was driving around for probably 20 minutes exploring the downtown area. A bigger city than I expected, some tall buildings. They even have a light rail system, which is something I like to take advantage of any city I go to. But I don't think I am today because I don't really have anywhere to go on it. This will probably be the first city I ever visited that had a light rail system and I didn't use it. But anyhow, that's neither here nor there. So I walked around Town Point Park, beautiful area right downtown. And then I walked around the city underneath the tall buildings for a little while. And then made my way back to the car. Free 2-hour street parking. Which was interesting because, I love it when I can park for free. But literally every single on-street space in this entire downtown area is a 2-hour limit. So I guess if you want more than 2 hours, you got to pay and go in a garage, of which I saw several. Not sure how much they were. But overall impressions of Norfolk, Virginia. Yeah, it's clean, it's modern, and it's bigger than I thought it would be, honestly. It's a pretty decent-sized urban place. I felt safe everywhere I've been. No, again, I've only driven from the airport to here and then around downtown, but there was nowhere that was like, oh crap, that's a bad neighborhood. None of that. So yeah, I'm rambling, but the next stop, I'm going to go check out Virginia Beach, which is, I don't even know how long from here, maybe 30 minutes, judging by the map. But yeah. No, I'm not going to the beach. The weather's warm enough, I probably could. It's in the, mid-70s is what the forecast called for. I think the high was like 77 today. But right now, according to the car, it says it's 80. It said it was 81 earlier, and I think it feels like 80. It's a nice day. I was in a hoodie on the plane because I'm always cold on planes. T-shirt weather down here, though. Alright, so I didn't bring beach stuff, and I don't really have time for the beach because of what I'm doing later, but I am going to cruise out that way and see the area. So let's go. It is such a nice day out. I'm working my way out towards Virginia Beach on some surface streets off the highway. And it's just, I know I just said it, but it's such a nice day. 80, sunny, windows down. Just give you a look at what the area looks like. This is a pretty easy area to drive in, I've come to find so far. Nice big wide streets. Speed limits are on the high side for the most part. So this is the main drag through Virginia Beach. Just real typical, like, beach type stuff. Heading back away from the beach, the road, I've just been on the same road the whole time. It curved away from the waterfront and turned into this. And look how nice it is here. So wooded and this is nice. Really good, well-rounded views of the area so far. I love just driving around exploring like this. I wanted to get out and at least walk on the beach a little bit. I wasn't gonna lay on the beach or swim or nothing, but I did want to do that. The reason I didn't is because there was nowhere to park that wasn't paid parking. It looked like a really tough place to park at beach-wise. Everything was garages underneath the high-rises and paid lots. I didn't see any prices posted anywhere, which usually means it's expensive, so I wasn't gonna pay to park just to stretch my legs for a few minutes. So the day rolls on. Quick video clip here. This is the Interstate 64 bridge tunnel over Chesapeake Bay. Open ocean out to the right, the bay on the left. the bridge is really low to the water, if you can probably see it in this video. So going from Norfolk up to Hampton, I believe? I don't even remember. I think it's Hampton on the other side of the bridge. Yep, so there's a tunnel right here coming up. Okay, this is exactly like Boston, going through the tunnel to get to the Callahan Tunnel to get to Logan Airport. That is exactly what this feels like. Same architecture, 2 lanes with a solid white line in the middle. It's almost 4 in the afternoon and I don't have that much good vlog footage so far. I just drove around and explored for a while. It would have just been me in the car, mostly. I did get out and stretch my legs at a beach in Norfolk that did have free public parking. But there were just too many people around, and it wasn't really a great setting to vlog. It was just really a lot of people around. So I just had a nice walk, stretched my legs, got back in the car. It's a rather long tunnel. This is pretty cool. So Virginia Beach is south of Norfolk. And the area up here, this is like Hampton, and I honestly don't remember the name of the other towns, cities up here, but this is the part of the metro area where the racetrack is, like on the northern edge of the area. Oh, I didn't even mention that yet. I'm going to a local racetrack tonight for some stock car racing, which I'll tell you more about in a little bit. I have a couple hours before I need to be there, just working my way up to it. Still haven't eaten anything yet. Been too busy exploring, so I'll have to do that at some point here pretty soon. Pause the video if you want to read this whole thing. So basically just on the roof of the fort up here. So that was the highlight of the day so far. This is Fort Monroe in Hampton, Virginia, right over the bridge from Norfolk. The way I found this, I was just browsing around on Google Maps, and I'm like, oh, that looks interesting. Because it has parking, it overlooks the water, as you saw, so I finally got a good view of the ocean on foot. And it's an old Army fort. And this is really cool. I love stuff like this. Didn't even know it existed, just saw it on the map and drove in. Really cool. There's a museum over there, but it's closed because of, well, the COVID crap. But the rest of it was open for walking, just free, easy access to walk around. I was up there on the roof. I went down inside of it on that walking path. Really good experience. All right, so it is sometime later. It got to that point in the day where I'm like, I'm running out of time to do everything I want to do, so better get to it. So I saw downtown Hampton, Virginia. I just saw downtown Newport News, Virginia, which I'm actually sitting in right now. I'll turn the camera around. Like, this is just kind of the backside of downtown, but I'm in an on-street parking space, just pulled over to vlog. Because I wanted to try and hit every major community in this area, like Hampton, Newport News, Norfolk, Chesapeake, Virginia Beach, and I did. And I know this is not one of my best vlogs. I didn't vlog as much as I should have today. There wasn't much of me doing anything outside the car. Because, I mean, I was in the car most of the day. But I am going to Langley Speedway. I believe that's the name of it, if I remember correctly. About 15 minutes from here. And I gotta hustle to it. But, yeah, I mean, this happens on trips. So I just get that time crunch where I'm like, oh, boy, better really get going. But I think I will be on time for the racetrack. It's about 15 minutes from here. I wanted to be there around 6 o'clock-ish, because I think it starts like 6:45, 7. So yeah, I'll talk to you from there. Just arrived. This is called Larry King Law's Langley Speedway. That is a mouthful. Hampton, Virginia. Should be good. I mean, pulling in, it looks like some nice, modern, like aluminum bleacher grandstands. It looks like a nice facility, just seeing it from the road on the way into the parking lot. 15 cash admission. Parking's free, which is always nice. So yeah.
Also, a quick reminder to all our fans, tickets for next week's race and the September 26th event will go on sale this Monday at 3 o'clock. So if you want your tickets for next week or the September 26th event, they will both go on sale at the race night. If it sells out, you show up on the wrong one, you can't get in. I don't want that to happen to anybody, so be sure to purchase for the right date. As our Harley Financial Q cars getting ready to go green here. Pace truck set a pull down pit road. Back under the caution again.
All right, so back in the car after the races are done for the night. It was awesome. I was in there over 4 hours. It ended around 11, started at 7. And the name of this track again, it's a mouthful. Larry King Lawler. I'm trying to look at the sign. It's kind of dark over there. I don't even, the name is really a mouthful. Larry King Law Langley Speedway. So the real name of the track is Langley Speedway, but they sold the naming rights as I figured out what it was. So Larry King Law is a law firm that bought the naming rights, hence Larry King Law Langley Speedway. And the reason I figured that out was because I was like, that is a really odd name for a racetrack. And then inside they had an advertising billboard for the Larry King Law Firm. And I was like, oh, now it makes sense. So there were 8 different races, all really good. That was a, as far as local short track racing goes, that was a pretty high level of local short track racing. So that I had a, so I had a major hiccup going into the track. I pull in and park and just follow the crowd of people going in. No problem, you know, get up there, pay my cash to go in. And I get up to the entry gate and there's nobody selling tickets. There's no cash drawer, there's no credit card machine, just nothing. Just several people. There were like 4 people sitting at a table collecting tickets with nowhere to buy one. So I went up and asked them where I buy a ticket, and they said, oh, well, there's no tickets available. It's online sales only, and it's sold out. And I was like, what the? Because I had looked at the website twice earlier today, and not just glanced at it. Like, I spent a few minutes on it, looking at like the schedule and the pricing and all that kind of stuff. And nowhere on the website did it say it was online only. If I knew that, I would have, you know, gotten a ticket online, which would have been a pain, but I would have done it because I wanted to go. And then as soon as I'm told at the entry gate that they're not selling tickets, I'm standing there in those couple of seconds trying to process that information. But before I could fully get that through my head, I mean, it only took a couple seconds, but they told me, like, hey, go see that guy over there standing in the parking lot. He's got extra tickets. And I was like, okay, I'll go talk to him. And I walk up to this gentleman in the parking lot, and nicest guy in the world. He heard I was looking for a ticket, and he just hands me a ticket. Says, don't worry about it, it's free, I got an extra. And that was it. He started to walk away, and I'm like, no, man, I gotta give you something. Like, really, I'm not leaving you empty-handed. So I gave him a $5, because the ticket prices, according to the website, were $15. And he said that's what he paid, $15 each. He had, like, I think he had 4 tickets, but only 3 people going, hence the extra. And he handed me a ticket. I broke him off with a $5, and then he shakes my hand, introduces himself, and I thank him again. I'm like, you saved the night. You know, I planned my whole day and my schedule around this to be here. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't even get to go in. And I was like, oh, hold on, I gotta give you something more. And I had another $5, so I gave him that too, because I had like a couple of $5s and then a bunch of $20s. So I probably should have just given him 20, but I doubt he would have taken it. He didn't even want to take anything. But yeah, and then I walked in with him, because we used our tickets, the ticket I got from him, and his tickets that he had. We entered together. We didn't sit together. We parted ways after we chatted for a few minutes. But he said he's been coming here for, I think he said 15 or 20 years, and loves the track. And it is a really nice track. And he asked me if I was from the area, because I told him I'd never been here before. And I was like, well, you're not going to believe me. And it's going to take a minute or two to tell you the story, but I'm from New Hampshire. Honest to God truth. And I told him about how I travel and how I, jump all over the country for these weekend trips and hop flights. And I love telling people about what I do, but I feel like half the time they're like, huh? Is this guy for real? But anyhow, it was a really good night. We shook hands and he introduced himself, but I don't remember his name. So yeah. The capacity of the track is 5,000 in the grandstands. They were only letting in 700 because of all this COVID bullcrap. So, I mean, I'm really thankful that things just worked out. I ended up with a ticket from a really nice person. And yeah, because it would have been a really frustrating experience to get shut out completely. The track was good. The races were good. I sat up in the grandstands in the top row, which is the best place at any auto racing track. And so, moving on from here, it is 11:42 at night. I've been sitting in the car for a few minutes playing around on my phone. And my flight's at 8:30 in the morning from BWI. Obviously, I flew into Norfolk today. I'm flying home from BWI tomorrow. So obviously no hotel, no Airbnb, gonna be in the car tonight. It's a 3-hour and 3-minute drive door to door, according to Google Maps, from where I sit right here in the racetrack parking lot. And let's see, it is 11:43. My flight's at 8:30, so get to the airport around, return this car 7-ish, 6:30, 7, something like that. I like to get to the airport on the early side. Because I did miss a flight once from oversleeping. That's in the Philadelphia. Now, which vlog is that in? That was a few months ago. That was in the Delmarva vlog from May, I believe. But anyhow, so I have got, let me see, I'm trying to think. I'm tired. I'm trying to think here. And I'm rambling again. I know I'm failing miserably at not talking so much sitting in the car in this video. So I have about 7 hours to do a 3-hour drive. So that leaves time to get something to eat, leaves time to sleep. So let's get to it. I'm not going over the Bay Bridge Tunnel. That'll have to be for another trip. That'd take too long at this point, and it's nighttime. I want to see it during the day. Just gonna head up the highway, go through Richmond, pass through the outskirts of DC, into Maryland. So let's roll. Alright, y'all, quick update. If I sound tired, it's because I am. I only drove about 50 miles north of, I drove about 50 miles north of the racetrack, and then I was like, okay, I need a break, because I mapped it out. There's 3 rest areas between the Hampton Roads area and BWI Airport. This is the first of 3. Like usual, when I start out, I know this from just straight up experience. I start out, I'm like, oh, I could do this all night, and driving, then, 10 miles later, it's okay, I'm ready to sleep. So I slept it's 2:44, I slept for probably 2 hours. So I have about a 2-hour and 20-minute ride to the airport. I just went into the rest area. And the Virginia rest areas are really, really good. Nice, clean, like real bathrooms 24/7. Lots of options in the vending machines, but I didn't come away with anything here. Because I need a little something to get me going. I'm not really a coffee drinker, but I'm kind of in the mood for an iced coffee, as weird as that is. And all they had was freaking Starbucks in there, and I just do not like Starbucks. So I asked the really nice woman was the attendant, and a really nice elderly woman was the rest area attendant. I asked her if there was a 24-hour Dunkin' Donuts, and she looked at me and was like, well, not since COVID. And I have my I don't wear a mask t-shirt on, and she wasn't wearing a mask, and Yeah, I think she was really friendly to me for that reason. But she told me go up to Love's, 3 miles away. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'll get something to Love's. If you're brand new to these vlogs, Love's is a truck stop chain, which I've patronized many, many, many times. So I'm gonna head up there and get back on the road. Alright, sun's starting to come up. I'm pretty much wide awake at this point. It is 6:45 a.m. I'm gonna return this car very shortly. I'm 10 minutes up the street from BWI Airport and just filled the car with gas. I mean, I missed having a truck. Missed an F-150 the entire trip. But here's the silver lining to that. Went about 300 miles in this car and only took 9 gallons. Which is just... I'm not used to that. And travel tip for rental cars at airports: do not get gas at the closest gas station to the rental car return at any airport, because you're going to pay a lot more. It's $2.25 here. It would have been, because I use a website that shows you gas prices. It would have been $2.59 at the airport, $2.25 right here, and I'm 10 minutes up the street. If you get gas within a few minutes, the gas gauge is still going to be on full when you return the car. So after that last clip you saw, I got back up, felt pretty good for a while. That 2-hour nap or whatever it was felt pretty good, and I drove to the the northernmost rest area in Virginia, which was near, I think Fredericksburg. It's like, I don't know, half-hour south of DC on I-95. And then this zigzagged up here into Maryland, and this is I don't know, I can't think straight right now. Still waking up, I guess. But not a whole lot else to say. I'm flying home Southwest nonstop BWI to Boston Logan. Half the price of flying back to Manchester, so yeah, I'm fine with Logan. And that's about it. I know for my regular viewers, this vlog was not really up to par, and I get that. There wasn't a whole lot of footage of anything besides me talking in the car, but I didn't really do a whole lot except drive around. I was just exploring, and that's kind of how this trip went, which was good because I'd never been to the Hampton Roads area before. It was good to check that off the list. But I'm rambling. I'm going to end the vlog here. If anything happens or I have a flight delay or something, you'll see another clip right after this. But otherwise, I'll catch you in the next one.